Coming up, Emerson College is moving their classes online.
And the Boston St. Patrick's Day Parade has been canceled.
All that and more today, Wednesday, March 11th. Good morning, Emerson. I'm Angel Salcido.
And I'm Megan McPherson. We begin with this morning's top stories.
Emerson College is moving classes online. Confirmed cases of the coronavirus in Massachusetts doubled yesterday, with the latest total at 92. The outbreak has pushed colleges across the state to move classes online. This Friday will be Emerson's last day of in-person classes before a week-long hiatus while the campus transitions to online classes. They will begin on March 23rd, but our campus here in Boston will remain open for the remainder of this semester. This means dorms and most on-campus dining options will continue to operate as normal. We'll keep you updated as the semester continues.
The annual St. Patrick's Day Parade in Boston was canceled by Mayor Marty Walsh. The decision comes following the recent surge in the number of coronavirus cases in the state. Mayor Walsh says the cancellation was done, quote, out of an abundance of caution to ensure the health and safety of Boston residents. Though things could change in the coming weeks, officials say that the risk of contracting the virus for Bostonians remains low at this time.
The coronavirus could be used to take money out of your pocket. State Attorney General Maura Healey warns that some are looking to capitalize on coronavirus fears. Emails, texts, or phone calls may claim to be experts looking to help. Well, these scammers may try and steal your money and information. You should also be aware of online vaccine offers, as there is currently no vaccine for the virus. Healey has urged people to stay home if they feel sick, as coronavirus symptoms could take up to 14 days to appear. For safe information on what you can do to avoid the coronavirus, visit the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's website.
Harvey Weinstein's defense attorneys have requested for the prison sentence of one of his charges to be no more than 5 years. Weinstein, a once successful Hollywood producer, was convicted of first-degree criminal sexual assault against one of his former assistants in February. A 5-year incarceration period would be the minimum sentence for the charge. Attorneys stated that his age and medical issues, among other factors, should grant him a lower sentence. Weinstein will soon face several more felony charges in Los Angeles for alleged assaults from 2013.
And stocks have bounced back after a nuclear day on Monday. The Dow was up 4.9% after dropping more than 2,000 points on Monday over coronavirus fears. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq both rose almost 5% as Wall Street rallied on what is being dubbed Turnaround Tuesday.
This is not like the financial crisis where we don't know the end in sight. This is about providing proper tools and liquidity to get through the next few months.
This marks the best day for both markets since December 2018. Health insurance stocks are expected to skyrocket as several insurers have agreed to waive copays for coronavirus testing.
Now we head to our political correspondent Daniela Lobo Rivera and the presidents of Emerson College polling.
Can you give us some perspective on the recent primaries?
I'm here with Camille Monfer and Kelsey Reardon, the co-presidents of the Emerson Polling Society. Welcome, guys. So we're in the middle of primaries, and we have seen candidates like Elizabeth Warren, Tom Steyer, Mike Bloomberg drop out and end their campaigns. How does this affect the election overall? What are the major consequences of these candidates dropping out?
Well, it kind of just narrows it down to a two-way race between Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, and we saw that last night with a pretty even split. So instead of those really low numbers and some candidates in the single digit, you get a more even split where it's like 50-40 or 50-50.
Mm-hmm. So in the last Super Tuesday and this Super Tuesday too, Joe Biden made an impressive comeback that no one was expecting. How does this affect Sanders' campaign and the Democratic Party in general?
I think it provided a coalition of not just like moderate voters, but also any Democrat that doesn't want Sanders to be the nominee essentially is now rallying behind Biden. So that gives him the most easy pass to the nomination.
Mm-hmm. What are your predictions as we move further in the election? What should the American people expect from the Democratic Party's candidates?
Based on last night, I think Biden's going to be the nominee. It's pretty clear that he is now the front runner. It's his race to lose.
Mm-hmm. So based on your polls, if you compare the 2020 primaries with the 2016 primaries, what are the major differences that you can see between the two of them?
Well, some states moved to primaries instead of caucuses, which was interesting to see last night. Like Washington State had higher turnout because they were now a primary, not a caucus, so it made it easier for some people to turn out. So that was interesting to see. I mean, numbers are still being counted, but it seems like Biden's going to take the state.
Yeah, and in 2016, we see Bernie's coalition changing a bit. So youth turnout has been lower this year, and he's also losing some working class white people. So it's been interesting to see how his base has really shifted and how that's benefiting Joe Biden.
So can you tell me which state or what statistics are your next polls going to be focused on as we move further in the election, as the primaries are ending?
On Thursday, this Thursday, we have Illinois, Ohio, and Florida coming out. So those are all going to be key states to see if Biden can take the nomination.
All right, so thank you very much, Kelsey and Camille, for sitting down with me. Back to Angela and Megan at the desk.
After the spike in coronavirus cases in Europe, students studying abroad at Castile Well have returned to the Boston campus.
Our Emerson News reporter Maria Sato has the latest.
Emerson announced Tuesday night that in-person classes will continue until Friday, but move online beginning on the 23rd. 81 Emerson students from the Castile Well Netherlands program returned early to Boston due to the coronavirus spreading through Europe. 321 cases have been reported in the Netherlands, and across Europe, there are over 15,000 cases. Brett Bailey, a student sent back from the study abroad program, expressed his disappointment with the situation.
I and everyone I know was having a great time there, just because of being in Europe and because, again, the community at the castle is so great. And it's such a stark contrast to being here at the Boston campus. It's really, really cool. You know, I don't think there's a person at the castle that would prefer to be here. I think it was the right move by the college. I think if I was in charge, I would have done the same exact thing because the one thing worse, maybe that might have been worse than getting the semester cut short is having it extended because we're quarantined across the Atlantic Ocean.
All Emerson students have the option to either stay in the dorms or go back home. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Maria Sato.
When we come back, we'll hear from our sports correspondent, Sam DeCoste.
For now, here's a quick look at the 5-day weather forecast.
When I arrive at my destination, I am gonna kill Bill.
Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Casey, and we're the National Broadcasting Society.
Come out to some of our weekly workshops, or work on some of our sets.
Explore the bigger picture with NBS.
We'll see you there.
All right, let's get another take. Camera, sound.
Hi, I'm Mary Malloy, the host of Speechless, and you're watching the Emerson Channel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Our Boston News correspondent, Martha Constantinides, has the latest on how the coronavirus is affecting Boston. Martha?
Governor Charlie Baker has declared a state of emergency with the number of coronavirus outbreaks rising to 92 in Massachusetts. This more than doubles the amount of people that were announced just 24 hours prior, and according to World Health Organization data, has a doubling rate of 5 days excluding China. The effects of the virus are shifting plans all over the city, but many are being personally impacted by the virus. Boston City officials choosing to cancel the St. Patrick's Day parade is one of many precautions that are being made.
It's really bigger than just us in the parade, but on a personal level, it really hurts that you essentially did work for nothing. So it's really disappointing. It really hasn't even hit me yet that Sunday it's going to be a really nice day and Southeast is going to be empty. I'd like to think that we did the best we could under the circumstances in terms of how we respond to this. We're just one of many different events that occur in which a lot of people are brought together. and in our case, not even in an indoor setting. So I do wonder what's next.
City officials warn while the risk remains low, things are changing on a day-to-day basis. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Martha Constantinides.
Thanks, Martha.
The coronavirus is starting hysteria over in Italy. Let's send it over to our sports correspondent Sam DeCoste for more.
Breaking news out of Italy. All Italian sports have been suspended for a month. Italian Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte announced his decision to ban all domestic sporting events until April 3rd. Italian soccer clubs involved in UEFA competitions, such as Juventus and the Italian national team, will be allowed to play games behind closed doors. Italy is currently in a state of lockdown as the virus spreads around the world. Italy has the most cases of the coronavirus in Europe, with over 9,000 confirmed cases and more than 450 deaths. Moving on to the NBA, Boston is in Milwaukee tomorrow night to face the Bucks. The season series is tied 1-1 with Boston winning the first matchup in October and Milwaukee winning the rematch in January. The Celtics clinched a playoff berth last night with a 114-111 win over the Pacers. Meanwhile, the Bucks have lost their last 3 games and are looking to bounce back against their Eastern Conference rivals. You can catch the game tomorrow night at 8 o'clock on TNT. Josh Norman has a new team. The Buffalo Bills signed cornerback Josh Norman on Monday to a 1-year deal worth $6 million. Norman could earn up to $8 million in incentives. The 32-year-old will play for his former defensive coordinator with the Carolina Panthers, Sean McDermott. Norman was released by the Washington Redskins last month with 1 year left on his 5-year, $75 million contract. Norman will likely compete for the number 2 corner spot behind All-Pro defensive back Tre'Davious White. Madden is getting some competition. Game developer 2K Games has announced a partnership with the NFL to make non-simulation football video games beginning in 2021. 2K previously published the NFL 2K franchise from 1999 to 2004. EA Sports, the creators of the Madden series, has been the exclusive rights partner of the NFL since 2005, and the relationship with the NFL remains, quote, unchanged. The last time 2K released an NFL video game was in 2004.
All right, come back in 10 seconds. Ready, camera 1. Camera 1, get a wide shot of the entire thing, and in 3, 2, 1, take it. Tell them cue.
Welcome back to Emerson College. Emerson
Camera
trails
4, get a shot of the players coming across the court.
10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point. As
Camera 2 close on the person shooting.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away and score this big one.
Camera 1, get a close up, follow them over.
Emerson trails WPI 10 points. 10 seconds left. Emerson trails by 1 point as the team finishes their timeout.
Camera 1, close up on number 33.
Thanks, Joe. With 10 seconds left, Emerson is hoping to pull away.
Follow the ball, follow the ball.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson. For an update on entertainment news, let's go to our entertainment correspondent, Miles Schumann.
What do you have for us, Miles?
Angelina Jolie revealed Sunday that 2 of her daughters are recovering from surgery. In a Times Magazine first-person essay, the actress stopped just short of revealing exactly what the surgeries were for, but she explained that her oldest daughter has been in and out of hospitals for the last 2 months and, quote, days ago watched her younger sister go under the knife for a hip surgery. Jolie chose to withhold her daughters' names, but wrote that her daughters have been supporting one another and encouraged her to write the piece. Numerous musicians are announcing cancellations due to concerns over coronavirus. While Madonna, Miley Cyrus, and Green Day have all announced their own change plans, music festivals are becoming a cause for concern as well. The popular Ultra Festival in Miami was canceled last week, as was South by Southwest in Texas, marking the first time it won't be happening in 34 years. Promoters for the Coachella Festival, scheduled for April with headliners such as Rage Against the Machine and Travis Scott, met Tuesday and determined to postpone the festival to October. Brad Pitt's next big move after winning an Oscar will be to appear on a new HGTV home renovation show. Hosted by Drew and Jonathan Scott, the duo best known for their work on Canadian reality show Property Brothers, the show will give Pitt an opportunity to choose someone special to him and provide them with a total home renovation by the show's crew. Premiering April 13th, the show is called Celebrity IOU. It's set to feature appearances by other celebrities such as Melissa McCarthy and Michael Bublé. A 16-year-old boy has written an apology letter to Prince Harry for, quote, cuddling his wife. During a school event for International Women's Day, Meghan Markle invited student Aker Okoye to speak about the day from a male perspective. Almost immediately, the student, referring to Meghan, stated, "She really is beautiful, isn't it?" receiving laughs from Markle and his peers. In Okoye's letter, he told the prince that the event was the best day of his life and that he was overwhelmed and shocked to see her at his school.
Thanks, Miles. The finale of this season of The Bachelor happened this week.
Our What's Trending correspondent Amog Matthews asked students their thoughts on the show's ending. Amog?
Good morning, Emerson. So for Trending Now this week, we're covering The Bachelor, and it's really exciting what's going on. So basically, the finale is happening currently as we speak, and it's a two-part finale, and the first part just happened. What basically happened is the girls, Madison and Hannah Ann, they met with the family of Peter. And Peter's the Bachelor, and it's getting really exciting. There's a lot of drama because ABC and the people who run The Bachelor basically said that it's very hard to predict what will happen, and it's the first time this has ever happened, according to the host. There's a lot of fan theory circulating. People are very fired up. People are very passionate. People are very curious to see how it ends. And I don't watch the show personally, but I'm invested now. I'm doing all of this, and I'm invested. So let's do some street interviews and see what the people think. What are your thoughts so far on the finale of The Bachelor?
It's definitely been really intense. I think that Peter might choose Hannah Ann, or Maddie ends up coming back, and then he might choose Maddie. Peter's mom is gonna.
I think he's gonna go after Madison. She's like coming back, and he's gonna totally break Hannah's heart, and he's just gonna take Madison, and they're gonna like ride off into the sunset.
Oh, geez.
I wanted to end in a catastrophe, so they realized that Peter was a horrible bachelor and didn't deserve it. I don't think anyone's pregnant. I don't think he ran off with the producer. They put like a little teaser and like a trailer showing the producer, I think just to sort of like tease people.
I'm hoping Hannah takes the win. You know, gotta stand up for Hannah's out there, and I think she's really kept it steady the whole race, you know.
So, as you saw, we had some pretty opinionated, passionate fans. It was really cool talking to them, especially when I don't know what's going on. Who will Peter get with, Madison or Hannah Ann? It's too crazy. I don't watch the show, but I want to know how it ends. For Good Morning Emerson, I'm Amog Matthews.
We are joined by our musical guest, Rosie. Rosie, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Rosie, so 3 of your songs have reached 100,000 streams on Spotify, What does that mean to you, that number?
It's a blessing, honestly, and I'm grateful every day that so many people are listening to my music, and the purpose of music is to unite people, and so the fact that all these people are listening makes me feel like I'm doing my job as a songwriter and as a citizen. Yeah.
That's awesome. What is your favorite show or festival that you've performed at?
I performed at this little venue called The Turning Point, which is in my hometown in Nyack, New York. And the reason that it was such an important show to me is because it was the first time I performed where I felt like I could be in my own skin and be in my own body and be not some version of Rosie that I want people to see, but the actual version of myself that I am, and I didn't feel like I had to be anyone else or project something that I'm not. And so that was a really important show, and the fact that it sold out. And I was like, wow,
awesome.
People are here to see me, you know?
Right.
Yeah, so that made me really happy.
Very nice.
So you took a trip down to Honduras to do some volunteer work. Tell us a little bit about giving back through music, what that concept means to you.
I decided to book a flight to Honduras, and I knew someone who worked in an orphanage. And so I decided to take some time to get to know these orphans. And I'm bilingual, so I speak Spanish. So I was able to teach English through music and songwriting and guitar. So I spent 2 weeks there, worked every day with these orphans, and I got to know them. And the more I got to know them, the more I realized that music is so healing, and it brings so many people together, and it brought me someone from a completely different culture together with all of these people, you know, from Central America. And so when I got back to New York, I realized that I wasn't done helping these children, and I knew, you know, I couldn't exactly afford to go back to Honduras, and so I organized a benefit and hosted a benefit where we had live music, and all the proceeds went to the orphanages that I attended. And I found out 6 months later that the money we made was used to buy guitars and
That's
musical
awesome.
instruments for the orphans, and it just made me so happy.
And that's something that you mentioned it earlier, the unification power of music. Is that something that you really think that's why you're doing it?
I've always wanted to go into a helping profession, and I've always felt like I've been a mediator in life, and I'm trying, you know, a diplomat, I'm trying to settle peace. But I realized that the talent and my purpose, the talent I was given, was to be a musician. And for so long I thought I had to choose between the two. Like, you either can be, you know, a lawyer or a nurse or something in a helping profession, or you can be a musician. And at a certain point I realized, like, wait, these two things go hand in hand.
Right.
And I can try to, you know, unite people and help and heal and be a musician.
Right.
Yeah.
So the song you're performing today, Nostalgic, take us a little bit through the creative process behind that song.
Right. So at Berkeley, I'm at Berkeley, but I was there last year, and I lived in a tiny little dorm room. It was a double, but there was 3 of us. So there were 3 of us in a double. It was super cramped. It was yeah. It definitely had me counting my blessings, like, now that I'm in an apartment. But I remember it was really hard to find inspiration because, you know, the walls were white and there was just so many people. And I remember sitting in this little practice room, right? It's like probably half the size of this stage, and thinking, there's no inspiration here. Like, there's nothing. Like, what can I do to feel something now, even though I'm stuck in this literal box? You know, how do I get out of it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And so I kind of just closed my eyes, and I was like, well, let's think about summer. You know, let's think about the last time that I was in this extremely emotional, like, crazy place. And again, it goes back to, you know, being with this person and realizing now that it's, you don't miss them, but you kind of wish you could, like, go back, and that's the difference. I still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic. You know, it's kind of like an oxymoron. Is that the word?
I think so.
Right, where it's like,
I'm the wrong person to ask, but I think so.
Either way, it's ironic. So it's like, I realize I miss this person, you know, but the truth is, like, I wouldn't go back, and I'm happy where I am now. And even though I was in this box, right, and everything was gray and it was super boring, I was like, still, I'm a better person than I was when you did this to me.
Yes.
So I miss you, but I'm not nostalgic, and I don't want to go back. And that's the move. It's kind of a power move a little bit.
Awesome. Thanks, Rosie, so much for joining us.
Thank
you.
And stick around to hear Rosie perform Nostalgic later on.
What's up? I'm Jamie Sanders, host of MTV Games, and welcome to my set. Where are the contestants? I lost the contestants. Where are the Oh, hey there. I'm Jamie Sanders, host of MTV Games. What am I doing in a ball pit? Hello? Hello? What am I doing in a ball pit? I'm all alone. Please watch the show.
Welcome back to Good Morning Emerson.
Rosie is here to perform her single, Nostalgic. Take it away, Rosie.
Halfway through the week and I'm weak already. Trying to stay on my feet, but my steps are heavy. And I know that I'm wrong, thinking I'm alright. And I know that you're gone, 'cause I'm losing my mind. Halfway through the week and I'm so tired. 'Cause I don't wanna fight if it means making up with
you. And I don't wanna try if it means finding somebody new. If you said you love me, I would doubt it. Still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic. I want your love, but I'm better without it. Still miss you, there's no way around it. You let me go and I allowed it. Left me broken, now I'm grounded. If you said you love me, I would doubt it. Still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic. 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 Still miss you, but I'm not. Halfway through the pain and it ain't subsiding. Trying to find my way, but it's terrifying. And I know what it's like when the nights are cold, 'cause you say that you're here, but there's nobody home. Halfway through the pain, is it almost gone? 'Cause I don't wanna fight if it means making up with you. And I don't wanna try if it means finding somebody new. If you said you love me, I would doubt it. Still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic. I want your love, but I'm better without it. Still miss you, there's no way around it. You let me go and I allowed it. Left me broken, now I'm grounded. If you said you love me, I would doubt it. Still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic. 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 Still miss you, but I'm not. And you're the feeling I just can't seem to shake. I wake up in the morning and I still miss the way you made me shiver. But you're out of the picture and you still fit the frame. If you said you love me, I would doubt it. Still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic. I want your love, but I'm better without it. Still miss you, there's no way around it. You let me go and I allowed it. Left me broken, now I'm grounded. If you said you love me, I would doubt it. Still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic. 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 Still miss you, but I'm not nostalgic.
Oh. Awesome. Thanks so much for that amazing performance, guys.
Make sure to check out Rosie and Nostalgic, available on all streaming services.
Thanks so much for waking up with us, and we'll see you next Wednesday.